standing on the corner, waiting for the light to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over. Will the world stop just for me?
You want to make a difference, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubts. The world is starting for your laughter, yearning for your love. Your love. You got to live it like you never lived before. Love it like you want it more and more. Be you. That's what you're here for. You're more than enough. More than enough.
Take one step and another. Nothing's got nothing on you.
Leave all your doubts. You're stronger than those shadows that make you blue.
Hey, hey everybody, how are you? Nice to see you again. This is Frank Coppola with the ADD Coaching Group. I'm a business strategist, board certified ADD coach, and I work with people to help them go beyond wherever they think they're blocked. And I use music as a promotional piece to help them promote themselves and motivate themselves. So I'm glad you're here. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that I think everybody appreciates, which is money. And how does one go about getting money? So I have something called the 7 steps to money manifestation. And it is a detailed point-by-point step. And then at the end of it, I'll give you an example. I use this along with 4 people to raise money for a business associate of ours. He had an software educational company, and he needed to raise $1 million. And we raised $1 million in 3 months for him. So this is not magic, but it is a system that has worked. I've used it, and several other people have used it. So let me see if I can share my screen with you. Bear with me, please. Aha! There it is. Okay, can you see this? Yes, I'm sure you can. So it's the 7 steps to money manifestation. So let me just take you through here. I mean, you can take notes or not, but here we go. Now we're talking about money, so everything's going to be around money and bank accounts and things like that. Try not to go to sleep because this is interesting. It's not in any way, shape, or form like accounting spreadsheets. So the first thing is to realize, where are you? So you need to know where you are in order to get where you want to go. So what does that mean? Where are you at? What's in your bank account? What monies are expected to come in? What monies are owed? Awareness and acknowledgement are the first to get out of denial into the solutions, because a lot of times people will pretend to have more money than they have because of shame. This is not a time to allow shame get in the way. This is an opportunity to have faith step up for you. So the questions you want to ask yourself is, where do you hold yourself back? Where do you hide out? Where do you stop? You know what I mean? Where is that place where just before you're going to reach the goal, you stop? Next question. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? So what's your vision financially? It could be, I want to make $50,000 this year. I want to make $100,000 this year. I want to make $10,000 this month. In order to get where you want to go, you need to have that vision. So the universe is going to support you to get there. How much income do you want to generate? And here's the other part. The number of hours you want to work per week. See, a lot of times people think I have to really work hard. Well, the harder you try, the more difficult it becomes. You need to learn how to stay in the flow. The flow meaning no worry, but ambition is moving you forward. What's your vision financially? How much income do you want to generate? And the number of hours you want to work per week. Now, the other part of it is be honest in what you need. Like someone says, well, I want to make $1 million this year. First question I ask them is, how much money did you make last year? They say, well, I made $40,000. And I say, do you really think you're going to make a big leap like that? You have to be able to become realistic about that. I may say, do you think you could make $60,000 next year? Yeah, well, that's within the realm of possibilities. Now, be honest in what you need. For debt, space it out to alleviate any undue pressure. So, the thing to do, if you have credit card debt, you should determine how much is that credit card debt. And then per credit card, if you can get your debt down to 25% of the amount of money that's being loaned, you'll be in very good shape. It's when you're over that amount of money that you would wind up being having difficulty not being considered a financial risk. The other thing to do is write down every expense you have a desire to take care of. Credit cards, your mortgage, car payments, your rent, whatever that may be for you. Decide, this is very important. Decide to be, do, have it now. Now, to do this, you need to speak in the present. Not, gee, I really wish I would have such and such. No, you want to speak in the present. I, Frank, decide to have $15,000 a month come in now. One of the universal laws is the law of polarity, meaning in order to have up, you have to have down. In order to have in, you have to have out. In order to have black, you need to have white. These are the law of polarity or the law of opposites. So if you say, I wish to have X amount of dollars, you have to understand that the money already is here. The money already exists. You just don't see it right now. Have faith and believe that it will be there. And you might just be surprised when it does show up. Because you always get what you need when you need it. Always. Now, here's the most important part. Cut off any possibilities other than what you have decided that you want. As they say, burn the bridges. You're going to stay on focus. You're going to stay nothing short of determined and persistent around what it is that you want. Make notes about it. Put it around your home. $10,000 a month, whatever that may be for you. And focus. Do not focus on many things at one time. There's a great saying, don't go wide, go deep. So you want to focus in on what it is that you want. Because focus equals one. One being that desire that you have to be manifested. See, we're talking to the universe. This is not woo-woo. It's just part of universal law. And if you can speak to the universe will give it back to you as long as you can be as specific as you possibly can be. Now, do what you can with what you got by looking around. Who do you know that can support you? What is within your awareness to do it now? Awareness is incredibly important. Awareness leads to understanding. Okay? Awareness, understanding, action. Focus on what you can do and always keep in the background, focus on what you want. Stop trying to put in what God left out and start doing more with what was put in. In other words, instead of trying to second guess God, have faith that God's going to take care of you. Now, I'm not talking from a religious perspective. You could call God energy, source, whatever that is for you. But you want to give it up to a higher power than yourself. Then, in whatever you're doing, you want to really embrace what you're doing, not put it off. Fall in love with what you're doing to get the results. Because if you're joyful, think about it. People want to be around joyful people. People don't want to be around people who are complaining about what they don't have. Because universal law will say, well, if you're complaining about what you don't have, I guess you want more of it, so we'll give you more of that. You want to live in a world of abundance. You want to be able to be ambitious, to be able to receive. And you want to be able to give as well as to receive, because many people don't know how to receive. Now, here's the most important part, another part. Trust and have faith in the process. Let your faith be bigger than your fear. We all have fears. If your fears take over your thinking, that means you're not being in faith. You have to recognize that you'll be taken care of. Clarity is critical. Be as clear as you possibly can. And expect that this is going to happen. Live in what is known as positive expectancy. Yes, this is going to happen. The money is here. It can't be any other place but here. I just can't see it. But it'll be here. It's like, I'm sure wherever you are, there's a city hall. And probably the city hall is not in your viewing. But you know where the city hall is. You just can't see it. Doesn't mean you can't get to it. Now, what would it take to have fun and enjoy the process? Good question. You could have fun just learning all about this and to play with it. Really step in and play with this. And here's number 7. Keep going and repeat until you get it. Persistence. Faith is demonstrated through action long after belief has dissipated. Meaning, you keep moving forward. You keep going about doing the things moving forward. For example, if you take a sheet of paper, well, we're going to go into the next section here. It's going to show you how to actually put this in action. And Napoleon Hill tells of a story about 3 feet from gold, that someone had taken all their money and invested in drilling, and they stopped after several weeks of drilling in the ground. They said, that's enough of it. Sold the drilling equipment off to somebody just to make their money back. That person continued drilling and 3 feet later discovered the largest gold vein in the history of wherever they were. Keep moving forward. Frustration is a sign that you are near breakthrough. And when you break through, the riches will come so fast and so abundantly, you will wonder where it was during the lean times. So let's do this exercise. This is exactly what we did to raise $1 million. Take a large piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. And on the left side, write down every possibility for acquiring the money. You can borrow it from family. You can go to the bank. Whatever way that you can get this money without harming yourself or robbing somebody. There is no wrong answer. Even if you've already gone to the bank and would not deny the loan, put it down anyway. For example, when Sunil, who was the individual, went to the bank and he was turned down at the bank, the fellow said, you know what? This is not something for the bank because it's a little bit too risky. But I know of a client of mine who would be very interested in this. And he was directed to go to that client. He became one of the people that put up money. See, the money was there. He just couldn't see it. Now leave the right side blank for now, and we'll go through the exercise to get it in our bodies. Now look, here's an example. This is where Jane Smith was at. $400 in a bank account. The next payment comes the first of the month and owes $3,000 in living expenses before the end of the month. That's serious separation. Where does she want to be? Wants financially free and earning 10 grand per month, working 35 hours a week instead of 50 to 60 she currently puts in. Be as specific as you possibly can. The more specific you are, the greater the possibility for you to get it. Now you need to be honest. That Jane Smith has $30,000 in debt. This month's payment is $600. She needs $2,000 for the rent, $400 for the food, $800 for business expenses, wants $500 in savings at the end of the month. Total need through the end of the month is $4,300. Jane already has $400. Do you notice what I'm saying? She already has $400. She's not, I'm $3,500 short. Because if you say you're $3,500 short, the universe will give you $3,500 more being short. It's a universal law of more life. So she chooses to manifest $3,900. And she says, in the present, I decide to have $3,900 now. God in the midst of me is able to conquer this thing. God is doing it now. I have the faith to move mountains and call upon that faith now. I have the courage and faith to overcome any adverse thing. Very positive, very directed. Do what I can with what I got. Well, I've got 3 people who express interest that I haven't followed up with yet. I met 12 people in a networking event. I'm going to contact them. I have 2 people who said they want to work with me and working to make it happen. One of them said they have the funds and savings. However, they don't want to tap into savings and want to wait to earn the money first. This person is going out looking for business. She's not sitting around on top of a mountain waiting for the money to come drop in her lap. She's taking action. We'll go back to them and let them know that the logic is the equivalent of saying, I'll go to the gym after I get in shape. So this is about taking action. Reach out to the person who has taken the longer than agreed upon to repay the loan. You're going to set up a payment plan to get the person back on track instead of waiting to get a lump sum money payment. Two people are behind in their payments. You'll support them to get them back into communication and on track. So you want to support people to keep their promises, as well as you need to keep your promises. If you don't do that, you'll be completely out of integrity and you won't be able to make the money back. You have to keep your promises in order. Then you're going to make a note. My most common objections in my enrollment conversations is to see how I'm buying into their stories and how I may have the same objection myself. This is about a sales approach. If you're going to sell to somebody and they give you a story and then you start to agree with that story, most likely you're not going to make the sale. You have to be able to be as kind as you possibly have, but you want to help them make a decision. That's the thing about sales. The only thing about sales is that you just want to be able to help them make a decision about what they want to do. Trust and have faith in the process. Let go and let God, universe, spirit, source, infinite intelligence, etc. Pray. You may laugh, but this prayer is very powerful. I surrender to you. I can't do it alone. I'm asking for your guidance and support. Thank you for always giving me more than enough and what I need when I need it. When experiencing challenges and frustration, I'll go back to your vision of what you want and repeat step 4, mantras of deciding to have it now and God in the midst of time. Here's 4. And then repeat until you get what you want. This system, as I said, works. You may need a coach to work with you to help you with that, which, by the way, I am a coach and I'm more than willing to do this with you and help you get the money that you want. If you want to reach me, you'll see my site and my telephone number on the banner that Philip has been showing. So let me ask, are there any questions out there that I can answer?
I don't have a question, but I do have that observation that you made, that you need to ask the universe specific things, not generalities. And we have been programmed to just focus on what we don't have, and consequently will manifest more of what we don't have.
Absolutely.
Don't think of a blue elephant is the example. That's the first thing. So we're like, oh, I can't afford it. Oh, I'm never going to make that payment. It just goes on and on and on, rather than saying, how do I make that payment?
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to make that payment.
Or
then,
I don't know how to make that, but I'm willing to find out who could help
right.
me.
And we do a plan, do, and review. Plan it out, make it specific, do the best you can, find out what happened, do that review, and then start all over.
Yeah. Have you used something like this similarly in your business?
Yeah, and again, it's made a world of difference. And when I lost my job, one of the things I did was like, what went wrong? How come I was not prepared for this? So I went really deep into Robert Kiyosaki, Think and Grow Rich, Earl Nightingale's the Strangest Secret, and I had like this aha moment saying, we've been programmed the wrong way. And the secrets are out there. It's just now we have to dig in and find them ourselves.
Yeah.
And again, I thank Phil, for putting these shows together, because we are bringing the experts in to say, hey, this is what you weren't taught in school.
Yesterday, you mentioned Tony Robbins' book on money.
Right.
I haven't read it, but I understand it's really excellent.
Yes. And he didn't just wake up one day and say, let me write a book on money. He went and interviewed the who's who of money and said, okay, these are the lies you've been told. And this is what's really going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a good program as well, Frank, because that brought, I believe that you can really help quite a bit of people to bring their focus center as to how to get to their goal, right? And the one thing I realized is that if you are not aware of where you are in your space, you can't focus on anything else. You won't accomplish anything else because your mind and your entire person is all over the place.
Right.
Right. And you have to kind of bring that person into center before you can step into anything else. Yeah.
And again, you have to, it's difficulty when you're having difficulty paying your rent and all the rest.
Mm-hmm.
But as best you can, you need to calm down and recognize it's going to happen. One of my associates has, she's been bedridden for about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And what she's been doing is praying, but she still has a business. She had her best month ever while she's been in bed praying.
Mm-hmm.
She made $50,000 this month, and the month is not over yet.
Wow.
And she was like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
People just calling her. Can I work with you?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And how much of that was because now she's put everything else aside. Now she can do the things that she probably wouldn't have done if she wasn't bedridden.
Very
be all over the place.
Very focused and very centered and very spiritual. She said, I can't really do anything other than be in bed. And and I'm gonna have faith that the money's gonna come to me.
Yeah.
It did.
There's something I want to, theologically, there's something I want to make specific. And that is that the term God is not a name, it's a title. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So basically, when you say God, you are generally talking about the creator. And that's not specific. That's just basically what it's covering. So when you say that, you're saying that you're connecting yourself with who created you. Your source. Yeah, your source. I think of it like this. It's like your manual, right? You get a manual from the manufacturer and you go, okay, I got this thing in the mail. How do I put it together? What is it for? That kind of thing. And so those are all the things that we have to discover about ourselves. And Hollywood doesn't have that. Most people get their identity from television. I want to be like, John Wayne, or I want to be like Chuck Norris. I'm going way old school now.
Right.
But you start tying yourself to personalities rather than taking the time out and saying to yourself, "Who am I?"
Yeah. I heard the great saying, "Be yourself. Everyone else is taken."
that hotel is filled, right? Yeah. But I know that as far as Frank goes, he helps people discover that, right? You ask, when I talk with you, Frank, I tell people this all the time. When I talk with you, I always walk away with something.
Oh, thank you.
you know.
Is it
And
a headache or something else?
you know, it starts here, and I don't know where it ends up. No,
Oh,
but
wait,
I mean,
Thank you.
the last time
Thank you.
we met, you went away with itchy skin because Frank poisoned you with some shrimp.
you know what? Stop saying that. He did not do that. You know, he just wanted to share his.
Not on purpose, no.
He was like, "Yeah, I love this. Like, you feel, try it." And I'm like, "Sure."
I'm so sorry, man.
Cucaracha,
No, I'll be honest.
cucaracha.
That's a very nice thing to say. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I really meant that because it's I've known Frank now for what, like 2 years now, Frank? Maybe 3?
More like 3, 4.
More like 3. Yeah, because we met at a networking event in the city.
Right.
And we've been bothering each other ever since.
Ever since.
You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, whenever we have, sometimes we have these profound conversations, but when we walk away, it's very much leaves you with something to think about.
Absolutely.
And that's what you need.
Goes both ways.
Yeah, you know, and that's what you need as a business coach. As a business coach, you want somebody that when you hang up the phone with them, you go, I got it. All right. I know what I need to do next.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of having somebody there that you can like pull from. And Frank, you know what? You don't talk about your experiences too much, but I want you to tell the folks like some of your background. Like, who is Frank Coppola?
Well, first of all, I grew up in an Italian restaurant directly across the street from a movie theater.
Okay.
So I spent my time either in the restaurant, listening to the jukebox. We owned the building, so we would go upstairs and I'd watch television.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'd spend my time in the movie theater.
Okay.
And so it was always about entertainment and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
When I turned about 18 or 19, I taught myself how to play a few instruments. And when I got out of college, I got hired by some bands, and over the summer played in these bands. And all these guys went on to like be arrangers for Broadway. I got to play on Broadway, playing electric bass.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good experiences around that. Then I got involved in television commercials and advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a television commercial producer.
Okay.
And produced many, many, many commercials for Columbia Pictures was the company. Then I started my own production company with a guy named Rod McCall.
Right.
And had a great time with him, traveling to Europe and shooting for European banks and throwing hamburgers down a road for Burger King, and down in Washington, the burger flying down the road. It was a special effects computer graphics company.
Mm-hmm.
I did that and then became involved in multimedia, internet development, multimedia, CD-ROM.
Wow.
And got involved with Boston Consulting Group and things like this.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere along the way, I decided I would go back to school to become a psychotherapist. So, because I became an interfaith minister.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to write music with this woman who also came from advertising. And we wrote an album of what I call Motown Meets God.
Wow.
Whole album of stuff. Like one of the songs that we're playing now.
Yeah, your introduction, that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was always very positive, spiritually based. I've been doing that, and then somewhere around 2000, I found out that I had attention deficit disorder, which explained why I was in all these other things going on simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm leaving things out here. And I decided I would become a coach, because if I didn't become a coach, I would forget everything. And I went to,
I like,
Yeah.
he's like, I had to become a coach because all of this had to be collected.
yeah, I studied with a man named Dr. Fernando Flores for like 5 years. It was a PhD program in organizational design,
Hmm.
as well as in human design.
Hmm.
What constitutes a human being, which is pretty interesting.
It's very interesting. Yes.
Yeah, and I just kept on going to school and one program to another program, and I decided I'd become a psychotherapist. So I went to school and I became a psychoanalytic psychotherapist. But I enjoyed the coaching and I remained on that. And all along, I've been involved in business from the time I was 5 years old.
So yeah, I mean, I want to kind of focus on that end. You've worked with a few corporations as well, right?
Yeah, a lot of advertising agencies, Philips Company, Siemens Company, Con Edison.
Goodyear, I saw Goodyear on your resume somewhere.
What? Oh yeah, Goodyear tires.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things having to do with advertising commercials at that time.
And you were intricately like involved in business aspects of some of these as well.
Yeah, I had my job for the production company with my partner. He was the creative and I was the back end business person.
Okay. So this was your business. This is your business.
This is my business.
Yeah.
And my primary focus that I've been known as is a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually what I became was a person that I could go into a company and without a doubt, the first thing that people needed was, how do you sell? Because most business owners have no idea how to sell.
Right.
They just say, oh, this is what I do, but that's not necessarily selling. So I'll help people really discover what it is that they love to do. And then how do they go about doing it so that they can make money doing it?
Yeah.
And it always comes from the heart, coupled with knowledge, and then you'll be successful. As long as you really operate from an innate desire to succeed, that you're not even aware of it, and to recognize sometimes you'll succeed and sometimes you won't succeed, but it doesn't mean you can't start again. And to just keep moving forward, because if you're not moving forward, then you'll stop growing. And when you stop growing, that's when people have difficulty. They go into something called existential angst. Mm-hmm. They haven't been able to reach whatever they want to be reaching, and they become very frustrated and get cranky. Really very cranky.
Do you get that a lot in your consultations?
Yeah, people will say, I don't understand. I'm a good person. I don't understand why I'm not doing better.
What are some of the reasons why people get stuck?
One of the primary reasons that people get stuck is they have tremendous fear of failing. So rather than moving forward, they'll delay doing what needs to be done. Some people call it procrastination. Some people call it how do you put it? Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage, yeah.
But there's a lot of negative self-talk that people have. You know, you say to somebody, so how you doing? And they go, yeah, I'm okay. Well, you know, you did this great job. Yeah, it was okay, but I could have done it. They operate from the perspective like they're not as good as they actually are.
Right.
So I help people really find out to go beyond wherever they think they can't. Mm-hmm. And many people will find out that they actually can, and then they're surprised by that, which is good.
Right.
Which is
absolutely.
Really good.
Absolutely. So you're as a business coach, you're there to kind of pull out, have them kind of face this and kind of pull out the inner parts.
Yeah, have them recognize what their value is, because it's all about value. I mean, you have a show here, it's valuable. That's why people will come in and watch it.
Right.
You know, Oscar has a product called the Legal Shield. That has value for people. Mm-hmm. And if it has no value, nobody will buy it.
That's
So
true.
so the whole idea is to really demonstrate and to really help people recognize their personal value and then apply that to their business. What's their business value?
Right.
And then instead of selling their good idea, right? They want to sell the value of the good idea. Because
Mhm.
without that, nobody's going to buy. Nobody's going to buy.
Wow.
So
I
that's
mean,
something.
that makes total sense, though. If you don't know the value of what you have,
Uh-huh.
how is anybody else going to see the value if you don't
Yeah.
know it?
And then there's a way that you can demonstrate that when you're in sales. You can, instead of talking about give me the sale,
Hmm.
talk about the value of what that would mean to them.
Wow.
People have a problem. You're there to help solve the problem. And when
Mhm.
you do that, that's a sale. And if you can't solve the problem, then you can say, you know what? Maybe you could, this is not right for me. Maybe I can turn you on to somebody who can help you.
Wow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I'm more concerned, I'm more interested in helping people get the results they want.
Hmm.
Because if they do, I do. And I love the music that I'm involved in, you know, because I write music and I performed and I've done all that stuff. And I enjoy it. I just keep writing. That's my real sweet spot. Writing and
Wow.
singing.
Wow.
And then
Yeah, I love that. I love that, Frank. Thank you so much. Now
thank you for asking, Philip.
the name of your company is Edutainment,
The name of my parent company is Edutainment,
hmm, which ties to your music, right?
right?
Hmm.
And education.
And education. Okay.
And then I have the ADD coaching group, which is really focused in on people who have issues with attention deficit, procrastination, time management, et cetera. And then I have another division called the Fearless Entrepreneur for those people who want to be fearless or
Hmm.
are fearless. And I help them move to the next level, whatever that may be for them.
Okay.
And then I have a music company, but we don't need to go through that.
Okay. Yeah, those are very interesting things, and I can see why you chose business coaching. Really
Well,
appreciate
you
you
know,
sharing
it's
that.
interesting. I bring in my music for teaching people about coaching. Like I have a song about sales
Hmm.
that I tell people to listen to, and then I'll teach them about sales. And when they're talking to somebody, that song is going on in the back of their heads.
Right. Because sometimes a song can put something in your mind that sometimes you won't learn through natural means.
Well, the interesting thing about it is that music is emotional.
Right.
It's not, you know, it's not intellectual. It just comes in. You know, that's why you can sit there and tap your foot when you hear anybody, because it's emotional. It's affecting you physically.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you can tie that into a teaching, then that's cool.
That's powerful.
And if you think about it, every product out there, there's always music attached because they're operating from an emotional standpoint. You play that
Mhm.
music, most of the time people will remember, oh, I know that. I may not know what the product is, but I know that
Mhm.
song.
Yeah, I mean, look at kids. I remember when years ago, and we know we have like a couple minutes, but years ago, I used to work at a childcare. Yeah. And not really work there. I used to help my family out. And the kids would listen to Barney, right? And this is a song that never ends and it would never end, right?
Yeah.
But I still remember that song until today,
Of course.
right? Because it's even though it was annoying to me, I still remember it. I remember this song from high school that was like the I'm Too Sexy song.
Oh, yeah.
I hated that song.
You remember it.
But I remember it.
Yeah.
So
People,
songs
I say it
have
all
a
the
way
time.
of penetrating.
I say it all the time. People even remember a bad song.
Yeah.
And then what's the thing about the Cars for Kids?
Oh God, no! Don't do that one. It's bad enough I got Barney stuck in my head now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Phil.
Or the Veggie Tales. Remember Veggie Tales?
Oh yeah.
There was actually a study done with Veggie Tales. No, not Veggie Tales. The other one, the babies that didn't talk, the alien babies. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what the ones you mean. Yeah.
And they were like, there is no real English in that whole thing, but it communicated something to kids.
Yes.
You know,
Very
because it had the music, it had the tone, and almost like it was showing you how much body language, how much we communicate with body language, like the Charlie Chaplin movies.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right. It was genius. How do you communicate all of that without words?
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yeah,
I think that's amazing.
It
was all music and dramatics.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I see how you could tie the two things together.
Yeah, we like to do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
go out there and make some money, because if you don't make some money, then you can be not the baloney. Get that money, baby. Yeah. Something like that. Something
like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Jolson.
Thank you.
No, that is Broadway-esque. Okay. Hey, listen, I wouldn't be surprised somebody watches that and go, hey, I know we could use him for a part on Broadway.
Especially now, because they're all closed.
Exactly, especially now. I mean, half the people have found new careers. So they're like, you know what, this acting thing isn't working. I'm going into, Pizza Hut business.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have to get going now. We love having you, Frank. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for your time and for your sharing your talent with our audience. For those of you who are watching, you can reach out to Frank. One thing about our platform is everyone that you're watching, you can be a client to them. You can also give them a call and reach out to them to help you grow your business. If you're in sales, even any sort of profession that you're in, that's why Frank is here. You don't have to be a brick and mortar business. You could even just be a real estate agent, insurance, finance, whatever kind of field you're in. He has some experience with that and can help you develop your strengths and make you a better person, career-wise and otherwise. Go ahead, Frank.
No, I said thank you.
Oh, no problem. It's facts. Those are facts.
Thank you.
So thank you guys again for watching. We're going to be back next week. Frank will be back at the same time next week, Thursday. So you want to stay tuned for that. All of our talented partners at Phoenix National Network are glad to serve you. So give them a call and support us as we continue to share this information with you. Take care, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye, all.
I've been standing on the corner, waiting for the light to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over. Will the world stop just for me?
You wanna make a difference, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubts. The world is starting for your laughter, yearning for your love. Your love, you got to live it like you never lived it before. Love.